The first rule of working late at a corporate office is to always make sure the door clicks shut behind you. It's not just about security. It's about peace of mind. For me, that peace was shattered on a Tuesday. I was the last one out, as usual, working on the quarterly reports. I remember the distinct, heavy thud of the main office door locking, followed by the electronic beep of the security system arming. I even gave it a little push, a habit from years of being overly cautious. Solid. The next morning, I walked in to find the door slightly ajar. Not wide open, just cracked, as if someone had left in a hurry and didn't pull it closed properly. I figured it must have been the morning cleaning crew. Maybe they propped it open and forgotten. I didn't think much of it. I sent a polite email to building management, something about reminding their staff of security protocols. They replied with a confusing message. Their crew finishes at 10 p.m., long before I had left. Strange, but I brushed it off. A one-time glitch, maybe. But it happened again the next night. And the night after that. Every morning, I'd arrive to find the heavy, secure door unlocked, pushed open just enough to cast a sliver of hallway light onto the welcome mat. My little ritual of pushing the door to check the lock had become an obsession. I'd push it 3-4 times. I'd listen for the beep, then stand there for a full minute, just staring at it, willing it to stay shut. My colleagues started to notice my anxiety. "You look exhausted, Mark," Sarah from accounting would say. How could I explain that I was losing sleep over a door? It sounded ridiculous. I started questioning my own actions. Did I lock it? Did I really hear the beep? The routine, something that once brought comfort, was now a source of torment. My confidence was eroding with each morning's discovery. I felt a gnawing vulnerability, like the office, our professional fortress, had a secret weakness. And worse, that I was somehow the cause. I decided to stay late, really late, and watch. I hid in my cubicle. The office plunged into that weird, humming silence it gets after hours. The only light came from my monitor. Midnight passed. 1 a.m. Nothing. My eyes were burning. I must have dozed off, because the next thing I knew, my neck was stiff, and the first rays of dawn were filtering through the blinds. I got up, my heart pounding, and walked to the front. The door was closed, locked. Relief washed over me, so intensely I felt dizzy. Maybe it was over. Maybe I had imagined the whole thing. I walked back to my desk, feeling foolish, and there it was. A single muddy footprint on the carpet, right in front of the coffee machine. It wasn't there when I settled in to watch. It was fresh. The dread returned, cold and sharp. Someone had been here. They had walked right past me while I slept. They hadn't come through the front door, which meant there was another way in. Or, even more terrifying, they were never gone in the first place. The unlocked door wasn't the breach. It was a message. A sign that the security I trusted was an illusion. The feeling of being watched intensified. Every shadow seemed to stretch. Every creak of the building sounded like a footstep. I started leaving with other people, never staying late again. But the feeling of vulnerability followed me home. I de-checked the locks on my apartment door a dozen times before I could even think about sleeping. The most logical step was to check the security logs. I had avoided it, partly because I was afraid of what I would find, and partly because I was afraid of what I wouldn't. I finally worked up the courage and requested the access logs for the past 2 weeks from IT. I specifically asked for all entries and exits, any failed attempts, anything at all between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. The report came back an hour later. I opened the file, my hand trembling. I scrolled through the dates, my eyes scanning the timestamps. Night after night, the log showed the same thing. My keycard entry in the morning, my keycard arming the system at night, and in between, nothing. Absolutely nothing. No forced entry alarms, no unauthorized keycard swipes, no motion detected in the main lobby. According to the system, The door was never opened. It remained perfectly secure all night, every night. I stared at the screen, the data laying out a reality that was impossible. The door was being opened, but there was no record of it. The footprint was real, but there was no person logged as entering. The routine wasn't broken by a person or a machine malfunction. It was being broken by something else. Something that didn't need a key card. Something that didn't trip sensors. Something that could unlock a door from the inside. That's when I understood. The vulnerability wasn't about a faulty lock or a careless janitor. It was about the space itself. We weren't locking something out. The company, my colleagues, me. We were being locked in with it every night. The open door in the morning wasn't an invitation for someone to get in. It was a sign. A sign that whatever was inside was letting us know it could leave whenever it wanted. But it always chose to stay. I handed in my resignation the next day. I couldn't explain why, not in a way they would understand. Some things you can't put in a report. Some routines are better left broken. I still don't know what was in that office, but sometimes, when I'm working late at my new job, I see a shadow move in my peripheral vision, and I feel a sudden, cold urge to go and check the door. Just in case.